Hello, my name is Guadalupe Sapien, and I'm going to be explaining to you why Rachel was the best artist in her era. Born in 1664 in Hague, Netherlands, at the age of 3, Rachel Ruysch moved to Amsterdam. She had a maternal grandfather, Peter Post, who started off as a painter who specialized in landscapes and battle scenes. He was also an architect. She had a father, Frederick Ruysch, who was a professor of anatomy and botany, which he had a scientific point of view where he observed in high accuracy, which was a skill he instilled in his daughter. Having been lucky and privileged enough to directly know these people, Rachel was encouraged at an early age to cultivate her talents, many of her early drawings being scientific illustrations. At the age of 15, she studied with William van Els, who was a specialist in still life. Because of her gender, Rachel was limited to what she could draw. In the society, women had to follow a certain strict role which many revolved around home and domestic tasks. As a female artist, Rachel was prevented from studying and drawing male figures, so she stuck with what she knew best. For a little historical context, in 1648 the Netherlands had gained independence from Spain, which they now had flourished in economic prosperity, where we now have a new middle class, a middle class that wanted art they commissioned. This shifted the way art was created. We went from having grand religious icons or political art to seeing more families in their homes, people in their everyday lives, working, landscapes, or still life drawings of carefully chosen objects. These Dutch Protestants were the reason for not having many religious figures, but they still did carry spiritual undertones. This was the age of cultural pride. Rachel created these still life drawings that look so realistic and to this day is still mesmerizing to watch. Here are just two that I chose, called Flowers Still Life on the left and Fruits and Insects on the right. Rachel had the ability to make these paintings look so realistic because she understood each subject matter she painted, which proved to show in her work. This painting here, called Flowers Still Life after 700 oil on canvas, had a very lifelike serenity. Although calm, you can sense movement all throughout the piece. Taking us around the image, we can see here the stems and vines shown throughout the bouquet. She had organized composition with the specific type of flowers that were chosen, but showing which ones would be blooming and the others wilting at the same time, depending on its season. Flowers Still Life depicts a profusion of scientifically accurate floral details. Each petal, stem, and leaf are minutely and precisely rendered. Flowers found from different parts of the world, showing us the goods from overseas. The elements of art showed us the control she had with color, with the complementary flowers up against each other, the use of tenebrison to make the focal point be emphasized, with a dark background of brighter flowers in the center. Just used very beautifully. This other painting shown here, called Fruits and Insects, 1711, oil and wood. Usually specializing in flowers, Rachel went with depicting different fruits and insects. The specific use of these fruits, weeds, and vegetables are what would be harvested in the autumn. These items having symbolic values, with the grapes representing wine to the blood of Christ, and the wheat to bread representing the body of Christ. If you look at any part of the painting, it takes you into a different world. The interactions the insects have with each other, with the fruits around them, just a great capture of how they would in their natural habitats. You can see the influence her father taught her in detailed observation. What she paints are also what she studied. These weren't just random objects to show off what goods the country was able to get overseas, but both these paintings carried spiritual undertones. It carried a moral message. Vanitas. It was a reminder that beauty fades and all living things must die. In Flowers Still Alive, it was the depiction of the different types of flowers. Where some are blooming more than others, we see woods and dying flowers and some new buds about to grow. In fruits and insects, we can see a butterfly in front of a lizard about to be eaten. How quickly life can go by. And right to the left, we see some eggs representing new life. Painting from her teens to her 80s, Rachel lived up to a very successful career because she specialized in this particular style. She was internationally renowned for her floral still lifes that employed asymmetrical compositions and the effects of light to create a sense of energetic movement. She maintained a solid reputation as a still life painter with an unusual flair for the dramatic underlaid by a solid understanding of botanical and geological specimens. Rachel Ruysch was the best artist in the Dutch Golden Age because she knew exactly what she was doing.